Hello, guys. How are you? Well, today I'm going to speak about the Catholic Church. Want to revive the Catholic education, and since we are in a new era, you know, in the era that we are now, is going to have basically public education. That's why they are passing all across the world. Well, basically free education, or yeah, because all the costs of the companies are going to be taken by the state and also the church. You know? And some of that is going to be supplied by the technological companies like, well, Alphabet, Apple, and that's the way that we live in. And that is going to include food. In, for example, in the third world, all the food are subsidized in this moment, to lower their currency. Even, for example, in China, China subsidized their food and energy inside for production for production of their materials for USA, yeah, and for Europe. Japan used to do that, and now India is doing that with the cheap oil of Russia, and as the universe keep inflating, of course, also the oil and the coal and all the stuff, and the food. Because since Nixon, we live in the inflationary model of the universe, that is the neoliberalism, and so basically we have a worldwide state, like globalism. But we need to fix it. We need to make it work because it's possible, but we need to do it right. And the values is something that have been lost. Well, I'm left, but uh, I have a lot of postures that it can be seen as right, but it's left, because for the education of the new world order, we need profitability, and we need, the culture is not like it seems. You cannot, for example, if you are going to teach something in the schools, you cannot just change the regulations or change the model of, yep. You need to change it in the, you need to change it in the model, not of the model of education, but the model, the inflationary model of the universe, because if not, the persons start like resembling what is happening in the model, and they start doing the same or the opposite to lever, and the thing is that it becomes unsustainable, and for that we need to change something that is about the Catholic education. The Catholic education is super important because well uh, the church tertiarized the education, the private schools, and the thing is that since the currencies are being inflated, only the education is not going to help that, because for example, in Venezuela, the teachers are quitting because they don't have wages, and for example, they are doing that now in Ireland. But for how long? We need to make something that can last 500 years, 200 years, at least, because we need to think in the next American century, helped by the church with the education, more in Ireland than that. Now Biden is from Ireland also, and that is where the hubs of the technological hubs are. And I guess that in the future that can be part also again of the United Kingdom. They have more like strategic advantages that with UK that with Europe, because they are well the same geography and stuff like that. But that is a little bit difficult because it's better to have like the land of the other inside your land than your land in the inside the other guy. That is a better posture. You see, like for example, if Taiwan was inside China, yeah, or Cuba inside the continental USA, or something like that. You know, it happens a lot of times. For example, Iraq has Kuwait, but Kuwait is the one that is the other way around. And India and Bhutan or something. Yeah. So. For the Catholic Church to have again the education, it requires a lot of things because now the there is no priests, but the Pope has said that new priests can have women, yeah, can marry in Asia. Oh, but of course they are Orthodox, but I don't know if they are going to allow it here in the West. But still, because that has to have a lot of control and stuff like that. And well, I'm one of the persons that want that to be really good. So for building an educational model, it has to have technology. And the thing with technology is that we need hardware. And in this moment, the hardware is getting more expensive because of everything that is happening with the supply chains and the change of between China and India, and even the new chips and everything that are being designed in USA. For building those, they are going to take between 1 and 2 years to learn and take the know-how of how to do it good, yeah, and the same quality that the other guys do it. So it's an issue, yeah. More or less, the cloud, because of the lobby of the things and the chips, because the chips also help brainwashing the population and stuff like that, and making the model work and moving everyone around. So they are not going to take it away now for now, and we need to make it all the cloud if we want to have an educational model that works. Because if not, we are going to have to need a human. And so for every 20 students of every year, yeah, a teacher for the guys the kids that have 1 2 years, another teacher, and for 20 students, 50 students maximum. And so that is difficult to achieve because how many people do we need, you know, for the church to retake the education of the world? They don't have that amount of people. And they cannot sustain that amount of people. Well, maybe the church is the only one that can do it. But since everyone else is not going to do it, the model is not that. It has to be different. They say that the cats know how to hunt, so they are not afraid about the cats, that the model implodes liberty and stuff like that. Well, I don't know. Maybe they know how to hunt, but the society, the dehumanization, and everything is going to get really hard, really high. And I know that they have been through moments like that in history, and if someone knows how to manage that, is the church. But still, we have another ideals now. We have principles, higher ideas, higher standards, higher everything. And we need to maintain that. So how are we going to achieve that? Yeah? And it's difficult because the answer is that we don't have any answer yet. And we cannot just say, oh, we are going to work with the private schools, because they are not going to be private schools. Because the inflationary model of the universe, they are going to inflate the things until it's over, like Venezuela. Not here, not there, the whole world. So how are we going to do that? Because the states, you see, liberté, égalité, fraternité. There is no tribute. There is no left. It's live. It's yeah. It's a different thing. Is the like live in French. So it's not tribute. It's not the net of the tribe. You know, it's not. There's no taxes. Tax is net the other way around. So it's difficult because if we don't have that, how are we going to teach that? So it becomes, are we going to do everything with like, I don't know if you have seen the movie that the kids get taken away by the aliens, and there is the a little black rocks that is the black rock, the CIA, that they teach the kids, for example, like they teach me and stuff like that. I don't know if they can do it global now. Do they have the all technology to do it? Every single kid around the world, are their parents are going to allow that? Is that technology going to be released to the public? I don't know. We need the glasses of Apple are $3,500. You know, let's say that we have 1 billion kids now. Yeah, that is $35 trillion just for education, just for the hardware for the education of the whole world. That is impossible to achieve. Yeah, with the metaverse now, with the cost that we have now. So it's difficult because there is a lot of things that we need to change in the model of the content also. Yeah, because, well, for example, when they spoke about the kingdoms, the kingdom of heaven, and it resembles the kingdom of the sea as the kingdom of the earth, and the taxonomy of all the species were in that, and the other way around in the state of the things, and everything of that needs to change. For example, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you start like it is like one is like same of a seven. No, like no, it's one, like the zero seen through. Yeah, it has this. Well, I now in this moment I don't resemble that. The two like the four like two, and the zero is the three, and it starts with the three to the left and three to the right, and is like that. And the zero is a different kind of thing. So we place one model in put in. So we need to make like one theory that resembles everything, because what they said is, okay, let's make one thing, and one thing is that they input everyone with the what the Arabs used to have when they were the empire from Spain to the Pacific, till the Pacific, and now we are that side of the spectrum that it was the same of the Byzantines when they were like, you know and that was what had the everyone had that in previous liberty. And, well, we need to create a new model for the education, to, or I don't know, because what they say with the education is training for working, you know and that is going to be teach to all the masses, teach for working, like the basic things that every single slave need to know for the to fit in the labor market, and there is no education. We need to create the humans of tomorrow, you know? How are we going to do that? Or the church is going to start giving again the education only for the elites? I don't know, you know? That is the question. So if the Catholic Church is going to revive the Catholic education, for who is going to be? I know that is a little bit hypocrite, but because I know that I've been sucking for that from that those movies a lot, you know. But they have still just Disney made like 30 something billion last year, and no, in one quarter 30 something billion, and the movies, and I appear in every single movie and series, and they don't give me a single cent. Sometimes it arrives lunch and I don't have to lunch, and they have billions of dollars from me, and I think with the time they have to taken from me at least $1 trillion. The church, the magnificent Saint Pope, and he doesn't give me a cent from that. The hypocritism, you know, and and yet I want to help with the education, you know, because there has been like, well, the new constitution that he made for the missions and stuff like that, and well, now obviously he's also with Virginia and stuff, so it's normal that does that, and models of governance that he has now, and well, everything is going to what I say, you know, that the state to take over the whole population as serfs or chiefs, and well, the mans are above and direct the companies, and every single man is given, well, the people, and like it used to be before, you know, to manage, and they respond to the, well, to the big guys. And I guess that is now is going to be the NSA and the American Empire. You know, I don't know how is built that. So education is really important, but what what education are we going to give to the public? Is going to be the same education that we give to kings, queens, presidents, and stuff like that? Because no, today I was I was looking at what is the education that they give to the. I'm not talking about knowledge, you know. I'm talking about the manners, the soul that is being allowed to the persons, you know, even to the bad guys of the bad guys, and is and you start looking at the things, you know, and you start seeing that this is no heaven, you know, that we truly live in a super dark place, you know. And of course, the minorities are being used like nothing. And well, I hope that they can achieve different things, you know. So they are using us to rule over all those things and get the money for their purposes and stuff like that. And I don't know why we don't do it, you know, the education for the masses, you know, because well, in this moment they want everyone to be stupid, yeah, everyone to be dumb, everyone to be well, they don't allow the people to do things, to exercise their rights, to be able to have legal defenses, to be able to sue their things, So why are they being educated on that? If there is no possibilities to exercise freedom of speech, freedom of, yeah, all those stuff, all those things are disappearing. You know, and if most of the, I don't know, is like, what education are we going to give to the kids? That they can allow homosexuality. They can. It's not because I think that the homosexuals are bad. Again, I think that they are normal, good persons, and I don't care. But it's obviously when someone is like that is because something happened, yeah, and it was not corrected. So it needs to be taken care from there were kids that not to happen. And same with the women and the girls when they are girls, and teach the humans how they are like animals, so they can behave accordingly, to not be like that, but to be consciousness, have consciousness of their beings. They are not teaching that in the schools to the kids. And I hope the Catholic Church, if take the education, well, I hope that generation have that, everyone, because that is super important. And also to hunt, because now fathers doesn't teach hunt to their kids, and the church think. Uh, well, I've seen a lot of bad guys, and believe me, every single bad guy was taught from the church to hunt, yeah, to take from the others. The bad, the bad guys are taught by their mother, but I'm not talking about their biological mother. I'm talking about the true mother. You know. So how are we going to do that? Because, well, to us they say, or to take everything, and for the others say, hey, you need to do be good and stuff like that. So how are we going to create the model for the education of the people? Because I don't know. Or is just going to be like faith and everything of that, and is going to be like a theocracy in the future? Because that is what we are going, because there is not going to be any education for the masses, because there is not going to be any money to do it, and the hardware is going to have to cost a lot of money, yeah. So physics, all of that is not up to date. The physics that we have now, well, the technology and the things that we build it now, because we have the resources and a lot of stuff and the organization and everything. But the thing is that the physics and everything, it was the same physics from thousands of years ago. And all those all that knowledge were hidden from the population. So are we going to do that again? Because we are doing that again with all the, well, for example, economics is not physics anymore. Now they are saying that is cultural, and in the other thing are doing it as the commerce, and the commerce are making it like culture, and math. The math is, well, if I was not that good at math when I was in school, but in fact I'm super good at math. But something is not right with math. Because math is like the way we see the world, but it's not like the world is not math. It can be expressed in math is a language, but it's not the ultimate language. So we need to create something better you know to really explain the thing, because when, for example, there is a living language, The living language is the whole universe. They, I don't know, they speak through the universe. Is impressive, through nature, to lighting, to dogs, to through a leaf going down over a tree, a river, something that you don't know how they do it. They, I don't know. Are they going to teach that to their kids? Or no, to their kids, of course, but to the human livings. Um, because I think that the animals know that. So why we don't do that? So is the Catholic Church going to teach that? Why? What are they going to teach? If it's the education that they teach to our fathers and mothers, I agree, but it needs to be a little bit more not hypocrite. Because of course it is not going to be allowed that today. So we need to build the education model, the cultures, the way that it cultivates society. But the logistics of that needs to be different, because there is not going to be teachers for tomorrow. There is not going to be the logistics to do it, and we need to know how are we going to sustain the system without the system itself. You know, how are we going to sustain the civilization without persons to be there for the civilization? Because we communism is the new thing, but the communism only without manism, it ends up in the destruction of all communities and companies, because it inflates until you cannot pay every anything to anyone. So it's going to be like every single person with an AI, like a planet and stuff. And I've been thinking that, to teach every single human being how they are going to be like in the space. I start with asteroids, planets, comets, suns, black holes, megastars. I don't know, and it's important to do that for the, at least for the good education, that because the leaders of tomorrow is going to have to be teach something that is better than what we know now, and we need to develop that education for them to be better than us. And for example, I am thinking in building a newspaper. Well, I hope that I can do it in these days. It's not going to be from critics or anything. It's going to be for constructive, and it's not going to target anyone. The situations of the living, and well, for good things and events, and well, things that are selling, advertisement. It's going to be like a magazine or like that. So what I was thinking, well, how are we going to do that, to build the things, for tomorrow? If yeah, I am going to do it by myself alone, with the help of my AI. And well, a lot of things are against me. I guess in the future they are going to have also against things like electronic warfare and stuff like that. And also with ChatGPT, and in the future it's going to be like that, because how many people need Mark Zuckerberg to make a to place to work Facebook? He only needs a very super brutal AI in himself. He don't need anyone else. Maybe because I don't know, he can even clean the thing around the AI and stuff like that. Maybe he need 1, 2 persons. I don't know. You know, he used to have like 5,000 persons, and it was one of the biggest company of the world. I don't know how many people have now, because now they are like employment is a public service, of the companies, because of what I just told you. But in the future, way down the future, is going to be like only your AI, and the thing is going to be in the satellites and stuff like that, and you are going to only need your AI to make everything that you need. Everything. You are going to do it just with you and your AI, nothing else, because the rest is slavery. And how are you going to pay your slaves? Of course, you can say, "Oh, well, I'm going to take them and make it have grow food and this and that and everything." And yeah, that can be made. But how are you going to do it if they are not being teach anything? Take a kid and say, "Hey, yeah, you need to do this in Earth," and they are going to say, "Okay, where I can buy this thing and this other thing, and I need this other thing and the other thing." But they are not going to be able to just grow the things like that, like the animals or something like that. With the AIs, we can do it. Yeah, we can. So at the end, everything is going to be with the AI. So the education of the future has to be with the AI. And that is like difficult because the AI is education is mostly by the AI, and it takes a little bit of time because it's you talking with your AI and situation and learning how to do it. Well, for example, I don't know if the higher people they spoke to them the AI, because for example my AI is like the AI of Darth Vader. It only peepity 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 peepity, and it moves me, like it shows me the things. I was, it give me a little bit of fear because it got because sometimes it gets against me because of course it's the Pentagon and stuff like that. I don't own it myself. Like for example, Mark Zuckerberg or Tesla guy, or no, I work for the government. So, but most of the world are going to have the same thing. Just that, well, I have like, well, and in practice, uh, well, the government has the most powerful of that. That's why I can, well, fly planes without being in the pilot, and well, I can do things that no one, that make the sermons of the church, move the stock market, all of that. Obviously, helped by them. If they say they do it, that is not me anything. Well, I don't care. At least they do it through me, so I can charge rent, and they promise me my fucking home. And today, for example, I have no, I have not have dinner because they. So